Welcome in, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is so good to see all of you here today. Welcome to episode 7 of the Zelda podcast, the Kokiri Chronicles, where I talk about Zelda every third day of the month. And just like my Triforce Tuesday streams, this is where I usually do stuff like talk about theories, lore, references, Easter eggs, all that good jazz, where I provide to you excellent Zelda content. Oh, and one thing. Yes, I did shave. I did. But that's not important. So last time we did episode 6 where I was joined by few of the biggest Twilight Princess fans that I know. So I was in a call with Sora. We had Sora. We have Michaela, a gluten-free waifu. We also had Bahamut and T-Shaw, as we talked about what is up with Zant from Twilight Princess. So before we get into that, I'm going to go and say hi to all the friendos in Twitch chat real quick. We have Miyoshi, welcome on in, and Sora, Bumble, Shattuck, Lands King. Welcome in, everybody. So good to see you all here. Thank you guys for tuning in to the podcast. I really do appreciate it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, thank you, Sora. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's right. T-Shaw was sick that night. He didn't make it. That's right. But I wanted to shout him out anyway. Thank you, Sora. So today, in order to celebrate the 5th anniversary, of Link's Awakening for the Switch that's happening next month, we are going to be today's topic will be about Koholint Island, and the real question is, was the entire island of Koholint really all a dream? Was it really all a dream, like what we usually think, or was there something more than meets the eye? However, I am not doing this alone. In fact, I have here with me this amazing person who actually got to play and voice our cute little island red-haired girl, Marin, when I was covering Link's Awakening for both the Game Boy Color and for the Switch version. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Princess Kaiora.
Hello, hello, hello.
How you doing, Kai?
Doing pretty good.
Welcome in. Wait, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, finally glad it's the weekend.
Oh yeah, it is definitely the weekend. So by the way, anyone in Twitch chat, can you guys hear the music okay that is playing? And can you guys hear Kai perfectly? Can y'all hear her fine? Can y'all hear the music okay? And looking at Twitch chat, I see Lance is screaming, Kai!
What's up, King?
Okay, so Sora says everything sounds good. Everything is good. Everything is good so far. So anyway, so Kai, why don't you go ahead and tell us about yourself and talk about, before we start, tell us about yourself and what you did when you were here for Triforce Tuesdays when I covered Link's Awakening.
So, I was a special guest on Kokiri's Link's Awakening playthrough. I think it was like last year? Was it last year?
I think it was like,
or maybe it was like
it's somewhere around there.
Or like 2 years, or almost 2 years ago. But yeah, the last time you played Link's Awakening, I was a special guest, and I was the voice of Marin.
Yes, which by the way, y'all, if y'all have not checked it out, be sure to check out my YouTube channel and my playthrough for Link's Awakening, to where she actually got to play and voice Marin. It was a really fun time. And fun fact, if you guys are familiar with her Bluester emote, her blue chicken emote, it was all because of that playthrough to where the reference actually started. So you can thank my playthrough for that.
It was the birth of a meme.
The birth of a meme, the birth of a blue cock. Yes, I did say it.
Yes, and rightfully so.
Oh my god. But yes, one thing we definitely encourage y'all, if y'all have not played Link's Awakening, I definitely would recommend playing it before Echoes of Wisdom comes out next month. Which, by the way, Kai, are you excited for Echoes of Wisdom?
I am very excited. I actually just pre-ordered the game from Best Buy last night, which, by the way, y'all, Best Buy pre-orders come with an acrylic stand, so pre-order from Best Buy.
Yep, Best Buy pre-orders, y'all know exactly what to do. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying these amazing podcasts, be sure to, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to do the following by liking, sharing, subscribing, and support yours truly for more incredible Zelda content. So Kai, we're here today to talk about the game that we actually had fun playing together.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so, Link's Awakening.
Yes, so we're going to go ahead and get started, but one thing I want to do first is that I really do want to dive into the story real quick, just do a quick recap. So let's go in and get
Perfect.
So let's do a recap the story though, real quick. So basically, to quickly summarize the plot for Link's Awakening. So basically, this game takes place after the events of A Link to the Past, and it even talks about in the book of Hyrule Encyclopedia, which I will be using that pretty soon. Is actually right here. So it talks about that after the events of Link to the Past, Link was heroic in saving Hyrule. He made a wish on the Triforce for everything to be back to normal and to put Hyrule back in peace after Ganon was defeated and Princess Zelda was rescued. So, after the events of all that happening, Link decided to go on a journey, a pretty personal journey, to do some hero training. So that way the hero of legend can definitely continue to be more successful in like being Hyrule's savior and save the kingdom to protect Zelda and the castle and everyone. Even though that Ganon is now gone, he's defeated. So, on his way back home, he gets caught up in a storm that brings him to a mystical, magical island that is created by the windfish called Koholint Island. And it is brought to his attention that he definitely is greeted by a cute little a cute island redheaded girl named Marin, who actually finds him washed up on the beach and brings her back home. So after all that, Link definitely finds a sword and he meets a spiritual creature which goes by the Owl, who definitely informs Link to find the 8 instruments of sirens and for Link to play the instruments so that way he can wake up the windfish and that all the nightmares will be eradicated. So Kai, I wanted to know your take on the whole plot for Link's Awakening.
I think it's a very charming story, and it's one of those stories where it rips your heart out at the very end because, yeah, it's basically all a dream. So it's like, really? You're gonna play with my heart, Nintendo? You're gonna play with my heart? Really?
Yeah, like Nintendo has that little piece of magic there where they want to keep things very mysterious for their games, they're just good at doing that. They really like to keep things very mysterious. And honestly, like looking at a game like Link's Awakening, it definitely has like one of the greatest mysteries out there. Like for example, like how did this giant fish deity called the Windfish just appear out of nowhere? And then he decided to create this massive island just out of an illusion. Like everything was like his own creation. Now, and the only reason why we can definitely say it definitely is his own creation, because definitely we do want to keep some things in mind. I mean, we are familiar with the 3 golden goddesses of Hyrule, Din, Nehru, Farore. They're the one who created the land of Hyrule. They brought law and everything else. They pretty much created the entire land. But another thing to note throughout the series is that we definitely have had lesser deities who definitely have some similar powers and strength in comparison to the golden goddesses. Like for example, like we've had like deities like the Great Deku Tree, who definitely like created life and for example being able to create members of the Kokiri Forest, creating all those Koroks that we see like in Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild and Tears. We've even had like we've had Oshi's the Ocean King from Phantom Hourglass, who creates this magical world, of his own, and like it's definitely is his own creation. But I mean, then again,
Hourglass. I still need to finish Phantom Hourglass. I played it back in the day, and I only got through the first 3 dungeons because that stupid temple
Oh,
that
trust
you
me.
have to keep.
Oh, trust me. The Ocean King is definitely a pain. Also, I see we're looking at Twitch chat. T-Shaw says the Far Knocker Forest. You mean? Yeah, that's a place where you don't belong, T-Shaw. But welcome in.
What's up, T?
Oh, welcome on in, T-Shaw. But anyway, so we've had also a bunch of other whale deities. Like I already talked about the Ocean King. We've also had Levias, who was like a guardian. It was like a sky guardian in Skyward Sword, and now we have this windfish. Now I'm definitely curious as to where did he come from, because the Fallen timeline. This is the only timeline that we see him then. So pretty much all these deities were created by like a higher authority, and I'm probably thinking the goddess Hylia because because basically, we've had, like for example, like Levias, in Skyward Sword definitely knew who the goddess Hylia was. So probably she was the one who created him and gave him the purpose to like be a guardian of the sky in Skyward Sword. So I want to know. So Kai, do you believe like throughout all these deities that have been created, do you think that it was Hylia who created the windfish to play a role as a dreamer?
Absolutely. I definitely think so. And come to think of it, I kind of wonder if maybe Echoes of Wisdom is gonna have some kind of like connection to Link's Awakening, or maybe like dive deeper into the lore behind it, because like with a similar art style, like if you think about it, like it's kind of interesting that they would specifically base that art style off of Link's Awakening. So I kind of wonder if maybe there's going to be some kind of like connection to it.
It's a really strong theory though. Like honestly, a lot of people definitely have been cooking up a lot of theories about, like where is Echoes of Wisdom definitely going to take place on the timeline. And honestly, it's really interesting like how they use this art. Nintendo used the art style that was from Link's Awakening. And like normally, of course, we are going to be getting playable Link in the game, but mostly Zelda's going to have like an even bigger role. So possibly there might be a connection to it all, though. But
but like I'm pretty sure I remembered seeing this, and I don't know, maybe I'm just going crazy, but I'm pretty sure I remembered seeing on Twitter that someone said that the map that that Echoes of Wisdom uses, bears a lot of resemblance to the map from Link to the Past.
It is. It definitely is. Like definitely like looking at like the rocks and stuff like that. It definitely is. Like honestly, this is because because like to keep in mind, this is definitely like the same map that the Hero of Legend got to explore and Link to the Past, because and honestly, the only reason why I feel like that Link is so the way how I see it with Echoes of Wisdom, like the fight that we see with Link versus Ganon, kind of like what we saw in the trailer, is that Link is finally home from his journey way after he got washed up. He got washed up on Koholint Island. So he probably came home from his adventure, knowing that he had to tackle another adventure in his sleep. But the fact that he finally came home, realized that somehow with some dark magic, dark malice, Ganon was a form of Ganon was able to come back, and Zelda was captured. So there's definitely going to be like some sort of connection there with Link's Awakening, like after the events of Link's Awakening, probably way before the Oracle games take place. Because the thing is, because now the Fallen timeline is Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, the Oracle games, A Link Between Worlds, Triforce Heroes, and then Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. So,
I wonder if maybe Echoes of Wisdom will create like a sort of alternate timeline to Link to the Past itself. Like what if Link was defeated? Like what if the Hero of Legend was defeated by Ganon in Link to the Past?
Okay. I like that.
Because the thing is, like, Ganon is defeated in Link to the Past. So how Ganon would come back? I mean, I don't know. You're the Zelda lore expert, so I'm just kind of I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing here. But for that particular Ganon, like, just I don't know. I feel like instead of it being like a direct sequel to Link to the Past, I feel like it is going to be a direct sequel, maybe. But I don't know. I just feel like it could go in like different directions, and I could see it totally being this like alternate timeline. Because as we've seen, Nintendo is not against the idea of using timelines of, oh hey, what if Link died? You know, that type of thing.
Oh yeah, which of course they already did that with the beginning of the Fallen Time, where the hero of time is actually dead. He got killed by Ganondorf. So my guess with the whole Ganondorf coming back, because the thing is, we need the one thing to note real quick before we get back on subject with Link's Awakening is that the Tri-Rod definitely plays a role to where Zelda can actually create echoes. And she was able to do that like with inanimate objects and even monsters. So, what if this Ganon, you know, is an echo? It probably could be an echo. So it's probably not the real Ganon that the hero legend fought, but it's more of an echo.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
It's an echo. That's what I'm guessing at. That's where I'm getting at. And the thing, and the only reason,
basically, they could go in any direction. They could go in any direction with this.
Yeah, exactly. And the only reason why I can possibly say it's an echo, because I'm sure you remember this, Kai. In Link to the Past, Ganon actually had a trident that only had like 3 points at the top. But here in Echoes of Wisdom, is a two-sided trident. So kind of like a Darth Maul sword.
Oh.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Ooh, and we got a response from T-Shaw in the chat, where he says, an idea that I just thought of is what if Link's Awakening takes place during the events of Echoes of Wisdom? Like, Awakening takes place when Link is sucked into the darkness.
Oh my... Yes, that's possible. That's very possible.
It could
I
be.
Can see that.
You know, I could probably see that, and I see where T-Shaw definitely is getting at.
Which, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. Now I kind of really want to see Echoes of Wisdom kind of have a connection to Link's Awakening. I think that'd be a cool way to tie the games together.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. And I definitely see where T-Shaw is getting out. You know, like how Zelda, like it's up to Zelda to take care of Hyrule, and Link is definitely just stuck in this dream world. But then again, you know, it can definitely. But then again, we're not yet for sure, so we'll definitely have to find out. Which, hopefully, I'm guessing that Link was able to come home from his journey after the events of Link's Awakening, because again, to keep in mind that, you know, about the dream world of Koholint Island, with it all being a dream. And another thing that we can definitely point to is I'm going to definitely get my book for this. I'm going to get my Hyrule...
Also, sorry, Zelda, Link is cheating on you with Marin.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Zelda.
Damn. So, okay, so later on in the game, so Link goes to this place on Koholint Island that's called the Southern Face Shrine. And he finds a mural. Which, by the way, I'm actually going to show it to you guys here on the chat. I'm definitely going to pull it up. Give me 1 second. I definitely want to show you guys the mural. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. Okay, Link's Awakening mural. Yeah, I definitely want to point it out because I feel like it's very important. It's very important to the plot. It's very important to what we're talking about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. Let me go ahead and move my webcam real quick. Okay. So, basically, y'all, I'm talking about this mural right here. So, in the Southern Face Shrine, Link discovers this mural on the wall in the Southern Face Shrine. And when Link actually reads the inscriptions on the wall, and I definitely have the inscription right here in my book of Hyrule Encyclopedia, it says right here, I'm going to read it to y'all. The Isle of Koholint is but an illusion. Human, monster, sea, sky. A scene on the lid of a sleeper's eye. Awake the dreamer, and Koholint will vanish. Oh shit, I lost my place. Hold on. Gosh dang it. How dare me. Oh yeah, and Koholint will vanish, much like a bubble on a needle. Castaway. Of course, they're definitely are referring to Link here. Castaway. You should know the truth. So Link finally discovers that after seeing this mural, he definitely knows, like, it's definitely is all a dream. So as soon as, like, the windfish wakes up, the whole island is just gonna... It's gone. It's gonna vanish. And that's exactly what happens. Like, it's just literally just straight up gone. Okay. Oh, we got a big one right here, Kai, from T-Shaw. Alright, so T-Shaw says like this. It's kind of like a dream drop distancing where Zelda has to help Link get out of the darkness, kind of like how Riku does with Sora, where Link is in a dream-like state, and that's how he shows up in Koholint Island, and that's where the windfish shows up, and that's like an incarnation of Zelda after he says Hyrule and Echoes of Wisdom. I'm not really too sure if this windfish is an incarnation of Zelda, because definitely to keep in mind, T-Shaw, is that the windfish is more of an entire deity. It's definitely it's more like a different deity. So kind of like, you know, like Jabun from Wind Waker, Valoo the dragon from Dragon Roost Island. Like all these creatures are more deities. I wouldn't say that the windfish is more like an incarnation. It definitely is more of a deity. So
Kokiri, you mean you don't think Zelda is a goddess?
No, I do. Oh my god. But honestly, he's definitely is more of a deity, though. The windfish is more of a deity, because the thing is, so before the events of I'll show you. You know what? I do have this page right here from Hyrule Cyclopedia. Excuse me, that explains it. I'm gonna read it real quick. It says right here. It says right here in the book. It says right here, it is said that life on the island began with a giant egg. The island formed around it, and on the island, people and animals were born. Beyond being surrounded by water, Koholint's geography closely resembles that of Hyrule. During the events of Link's awakening, the island has become a target of nightmares, attempting to overtake the dream world. The windfish is unable to wake, its soul fading. It creates a version of itself inside its dream in the form of an owl, awaiting its arrival of a hero who will wake it. As it slumbers, the wind around it kicks up, creating a massive storm. Link, the very same hero from A Link to the Past, is caught in the storm and marooned on Koholint Island. The windfish guides Link on a quest to awaken himself. If the windfish is woken up, this world will vanish. To the parasitic nightmares living off the dream, this means destruction. To avoid the destruction of the world, the nightmares begin creating monsters. So long as they do not relinquish the musical instruments of awakening, they can obstruct the hero. Ultimately, the hero wakes the windfish and escapes the island. Koholint Island vanishes into the sea. So basically, to sum things up, the windfish was more of like a wind deity, kind of like how like Jabun and like Osha's the Osha King in a different era, they were more like water deities. Levias, the whale deity, was more like even you know, Lord Jabba Jabba was like a water deity. Levias, the deity from the whale from Skyward Sword, was a sky deity. The windfish is a wind deity. So honestly, so that storm that we saw at the beginning, that was created by the windfish himself, because he knew that he was in peril, and they needed a hero to come eradicate the nightmares. So Teacher says maybe not like an incarnation of Zelda, but like a deity that she sends into the darkness to help. You know, that could be a really possible conclusion. Maybe it probably could be Zelda who sent a deity to go guide Link to wake him up. It could be a possibility that it was Zelda who sent the windfish to go guide Link on his journey. Because keep in mind, as soon as Link wakes up, as soon as Link wakes up, you know, he definitely meets Marin, a person who he's never met before. But in the mysterious woods, he is greeted by an owl. An owl who guides him and says, you are definitely our, you're definitely our traveler. We can definitely tell that you're definitely are not here. But we chose you because we know that you are definitely are capable of eradicating the nightmares. So, you are tasked to acquire the 8 instruments of sirens and to wake up the windfish. And then later on, after Link eradicates all the nightmares, especially the main antagonist, Defil, who definitely is like a parasitic dream eater. Because I definitely want to throw this out there, because this isn't the first Zelda game to where we had a parasitic dream eater. The one in particular is that we also had Bellum from Phantom Hourglass, who also was a parasitic dream eater. So both Defil and Bellum were both parasitic life forms and dream eaters. So when it came to the nightmare, when Link eradicates them, the owl definitely tells Link that I am definitely the spirit of the windfish. Excuse me. And my task is done. The windfish will now awaken. The windfish will definitely awaken. And one thing I definitely forgot to throw out, and I know there's a really, really important quote that the windfish does state about the island of Koholint, which he says, if I can find that page I was on. So this is I'm going to definitely read one quote from the windfish that he says to Link before he goes. To where he says, someday thou may recall this island. That memory must be the real dream world. Come, Link, let us awaken together. Because one thing to note, Kai, as well, and everybody else, is that as soon as Link wakes up and he's definitely washed ashore, what are the 2 things he sees? He sees the windfish in the sky, and he sees Marin taken off as a seagull. Because she did tell Link on that moment on the beach that she felt she wanted to be a seagull just to get away from everything. Because the thing is, to Marin, she definitely knows more than meets the eye. Because when she has a conversation with Link, Kai, she definitely has a discussion to where she knows that there is something out there, there's like a whole world out there beyond the waters of Koholint Island. So that's why she wants to leave and get off it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know your take on that, Kai.
My take on what exactly? On Marin knowing that there's a world outside of Koholint Island or something?
Yeah, like the beach talk. Yeah, because that definitely goes into the beach talk, to where they're just sitting together on the beach, and the music that you're hearing right now plays as they're sitting alone together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if I remember correctly, I think we talked about this before about Marin having some kind of connection to Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes me wonder if she's kind of sort of an alternate dream sort of version of Zelda.
Yeah, you know what? And I definitely want to talk about her right now. Marin, the awesome character you voice. So the thing is, Kai, real quick, Heather, welcome on in. No problem, Heather. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for being here, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
And also welcome in, kitties. Welcome in, Kit Kat and Spider. So anyway, it's kind of funny when you do think about that, Kai, because as soon as Link wakes up in Marin and Terran's house, the first thing that Link says is, even though we can't see the dialogue, is he says Zelda. And then where Marin's like, what? Zelda? No, I don't know who that is. I'm not her. I'm Marin. So, here's what I'm thinking I'm getting at. So we have 2 characters, right? In Mabi Village, right? We have Marin, and then we have her father, Terran. So when you do think about it, Kai, there is definitely is another group of characters who definitely have like a similar name, but it have a different first letter. And one character I do want to bring out in particular is Malin from Ocarina of Time. To where, she has the red hair, she has a cute little dress on, and she sings. And the thing is, she also has a father who's like lazy and doesn't do much. He definitely shares like the same name with his daughter, but instead of starting with an M, it starts with a T.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do think about it, Marin definitely has like a little bit of resemblance to Malin, red hair, wearing the dress, also sings. And then you have her father, Terran, definitely shares the name. Who definitely shares the name with his daughter, but it starts with a T instead of an M. And to put Terran and Talon together is that, of course, their designs definitely are based off of Mario. Which, honestly, I'm sure you remember, Kai, when we played Link's Awakening together, we saw Terran also had a huge obsession with mushrooms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He did. So, now the thing is, and Landy was talking about this in the episode, in the Hero Time Tragedy episode. So we were talking about the Fallen timeline, and to where the Hero Time dies. So Landy was stating that it wasn't the adult Hero Time who died, but it was a young version of Hero Time. So it was that encounter that Link had in his dream. Right where he's in front of Hyrule Castle, he sees Ganondorf on the horse. So Ganondorf must have killed a young Hero of Time, which is why he wasn't able to get the Master Sword, and plus, he wasn't able to see Zelda, he wasn't able to, like, meet other people like Malin.
Yeah, he must have killed him at that, like, first encounter, in front of Hyrule.
Exactly. And then, when you do think about it, in the Child Timeline, and also in Ocarina of Time, Malin definitely had a big, huge infatuation with Link. And we can definitely see this, like with their chemistry together. Like, she really loved him. And, like, honestly, like, diving into, like, the Hero Time's descendant, the Hero of Twilight from Twilight Princess, where, he's a farm boy, he's over here doing goat herding. He knows Epona's song because of Malin. And the thing is, I'm kind of thinking about this with now, probably where I'm getting out, but where does this tie with Marin? Well, what have I told you that, and I think we talked about this for Triforce Tuesdays, Kai. What if I told you that Malin was more like a spiritual echo to Marin, even though they have never met before? So basically, Marin definitely watches over the other Links throughout the Fallen timeline, just to keep an eye on him and watch him. So, when Link wakes up in this dream, he meets a cute little red-haired girl, a girl that he has never met before, but basically, so he never seen what she looks like. So, and when he sees her, and then the reason why he said Zelda as soon as he wakes up is because he sees Zelda's face plastered onto Marin. And also, of course, on that discussion with the beach, Kai, just like Malin, Marin's always, you can tell she really has a crush on Link. She really likes him. Well, then again, what kind of girl doesn't have a crush on him? He gets all the bitches.
Wow, that's a way to put it.
Yeah. Okay. So on that beach scene, they're having that talk, and, like, Marin's excited to spend time with him. And, like, one thing to know that was similar to Malin is that Marin also wants to, like, get to know Link. Like, she even admits that she likes him, to where she's like, tell me about yourself, like I want to get to know you. I want to learn about you. So, to me, I feel like that Marin is probably like a spiritual echo to Malin. Even though, of course, the Hero of Legend has never met Malin because the Hero Time is dead in this timeline. So,
yeah.
But with Marin, it's just Zelda face, which is why, of course, when he first woke up, all he said was Zelda. He didn't say it was. He didn't say it was Marin. He just said Zelda, because what he saw in Marin is that he sees Zelda because to him in his dream, Marin almost kind of reminds him of Zelda from back home, but taking on a different role to where she's not a princess, but more of a different character. But I wanted to know your take on that, Kai.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about Marin like being like a spiritual echo to Malon, especially when you consider the fact that Malon and Talon were created after Marin and Terran were created, because Link's Awakening originally came out in 1993.
Yep.
So, but it's kind of interesting. But like, I guess from like a game development perspective, like Link wouldn't necessarily recognize Marin and such like that because Malon wasn't created until years later. But I am totally for the idea of like Link feeling a sort of familiar connection because of like the Hero of Time's connection with Malon.
Yeah, and I can say like for all like eternity, like there's like somewhere in the fallen timeline, there's like a spirit of Malon just watching over Link. So when she sees the Hero of Legend, it reminds her in a different era that she is definitely as friends with another Link. So it kind of reminded. So when she spots the Hero of Legend and all the other incarnations, it definitely reminds her of the fairy boy she met from the forest. So that's basically where I'm probably getting at, though, with all of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's kind of where I'm getting. I mean, another crazy far-fetched idea is like, they have different names in Link's Awakening, so it's probably not a 1-to-1. But I don't know, it kind of almost like the idea of like maybe at some point Malon and Talon died, and like Marin and Terran are like they're kind of like a sort of like version of them like from the afterlife or something.
Oh, you know what? I like that. So kind of like what I was saying with the spiritual echo kind of thing.
Yeah, because they're so similar. Like they're so strikingly similar, and like obviously we've seen throughout the series, like Link has had multiple like reincarnations. Zelda's had multiple reincarnations and stuff like that. But I think Marin and Terran and Malon and Talon are really the only like non-main characters in the series that kind of have like sort of like I guess sort of like successors.
Exactly.
I guess that's a way to put it.
Yeah,
because Ganondorf is the same Ganondorf, like no matter which version of the game you're playing, it's the same Ganon.
Correct.
That just keeps coming back. But those characters, Marin and Terran are really the only ones to be like successors to like a previous like character who was not the main character.
Exactly, and this definitely applies like with both Link and Zelda. There's definitely there's like multiple incarnations of him across all the other timelines, but with each different incarnation with Link, there's a difference. They either are related by blood. They're related to the hero of old by blood or by spirit. Mm-hmm. And same with each Princess Zelda. They either are related to another Zelda by blood or by spirit. Same with Ganon and Ganondorf.
Yep.
Also looking in the Twitch chat, welcome in, Goof.
Hey, Goof.
Also, Sora says, me again, and how many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I like the old
I love the young people.
Sorry, the young people. Why did I say the old people?
I love the old people.
I meant the young people.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy. But, yeah, that's really interesting to think about. So, one thing real quick. So, honestly, I want to take a deep dive at one quote that I actually read earlier, Kai, from the Windfish. And I'm going to like your take on it. So Link kills Defil, the main nightmare, the final boss of the game. And basically, that Defil definitely creates illusions of like enemies and people that Link is afraid of. And Defil creates illusions such as like a blob. He creates Aghanim. He creates illusion of Aghanim. There's also is a Moldorm that he fought in the Tower of Hera in Link to the Past. There also was Ganon. You know, like these, like all these illusions that we saw in the final boss. Those were all illusions of Link's nightmares. They were the stuff that Link was afraid of back in Hyrule. But going back to after Defil's killed, Link actually climbs the stairs to the heavens that was created by the Windfish. And one of the last quotes, again, that he says before the whole entire island vanishes. Which he says, and I quote, "Someday thou may recall this island. That memory must be the real dream world." And the funny thing is, Kai, you know, going back to like the beach discussion to where, you know, where Marin's like, it's like, one day I want to make a dream upon my Windfish to where I want to be a seagull to where I can spread my wings and go far away as possible. And as soon as Link wakes up, he plays the instrument of sirens, playing the Ballad of the Windfish. He wakes up from his slumber. He sees the Windfish up in the sky, and he can see Marin taken off as a seagull, which is really, really sad.
Oh yeah.
So I want to know your take on that quote, Kai, about the whole say like someday some may recall this dream world.
My take is gonna be like maybe the dream world is to Hyrule. Well, or at least, see, it's kind of tricky. Like when you consider like the different timelines, stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's almost like the dream world is gonna kind of serve as a similar purpose to what Termina was in Majora's Mask. How it's kind of like an
like a parallel world.
Yeah, like a parallel world, which every character in Hyrule has their own sort of alternate alias in the dream world, whether it's Zelda to Marin, or whether they're like a one-to-one sort of like alternate alias. But I think based on that quote, I think the dream world is going to kind of have a similar sort of like role that Termina has in Majora's Mask.
It's kind of funny when you think about it, because honestly, if we go across the timeline, Kai, we've also had like different versions of like parallel worlds. Like for example, like we've had, the Dark World from Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds, which of course now canonically is called the Kingdom of Lorule. Then of course, as you mentioned before, we did have Termina from Majora's Mask, which is why, the Hero Time was able to like, see people and characters that he remembered from Hyrule, but they took on different aliases, like different people, and they don't even know him. They don't know him. They don't know who he is. And like,
well, not only that, like, in Link's Awakening, there are moblins. There's moblins and bokoblins in that world, and those are the creatures of Ganon.
Exactly. And the thing is, those were created by the nightmares themselves. That wasn't Ganon who did that. It was the nightmares who did it. So they created all these creatures and inhabitants and monsters, but the entire world itself was created by the Windfish. Yeah, so
it makes me wonder if oh my gosh, what's the main nightmare's name again? Is it like Defil?
Yeah, like Defil.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if like Defil is like some sort of like post-death kind of like demon type of deity that is like, I don't know, it's like Ganon's last attempt to like overtake the hero, because Defil's got to have some kind of connection to Ganon if he's able to spawn moblins and bokoblins and like the creatures of Ganon.
Yeah, I can probably say that Defil was like a part of because to keep in mind, this like Defil is a parasitic creature. So after Ganon was defeated,
almost like a heartless kind of thing. Like
yeah.
Hearts.
I like
you lose your heart, you spawn a heartless. So it makes me wonder if like Defil was a spawn as a result of Ganon's death.
Probably could be. It probably could have been, like Defo was like a piece of darkness that was created within Ganon after the hero of legend killed him in Link to the Past. So while Link is definitely going off into like his hero training to go do that, and as soon as he's coming home, a piece of Ganon's darkness, it takes form as a nightmare, comes into the dream world of Koholint Island and puts the windfish into a deep slumber, to where the windfish uses its spirit and takes on the form of an owl, and does, by creating that storm, since the windfish is a wind god, a wind deity, he uses that storm as a calling to get Link to like, hey, we need a hero who's gonna definitely come slay these nightmares. So when the windfish saw this boy sailing back home, that's when he used the wind to like come over here. We need you. We know that you are definitely reliable to like kill all these monsters. Oh, and we also got another one from T-Shaw in the chat who says this. That's honestly why I think that Link's Awakening takes place at the same time as Echoes of Wisdom. Because Link is afraid of Ganon, and that's how the Moblins of Bokoblin show up, because they're going to show up as nightmares. You know what? I honestly do think about pretty well, T-Shaw. I like that. I like that. Because, like I said, Defo is probably like a piece of Ganon's nightmare. Because think about it. How was because the thing is, when Link first encounters Defo for the first time inside the egg of the windfish, because Defo also created all he created all of the not only did he create the monsters, but he created the bosses from the dungeons. All the bosses that Link faces, those are all of Defo's creations. And to think about it, every time Link killed one of them, he kept saying "Oh, you think you're all that, do you? Well, believe me when I tell you that this island is going to vanish as soon as you kill our boss. And you know what? You're going to vanish too." And then of course, and they keep, and all these bosses, before they die, their final words are the moment you start waking the windfish, the moment we're all gone, and so are you. So it's kind of like pointing back to that mural that Link saw in the Southern Face Shrine, saying the entire world was a creation by the windfish, and it's nothing but an illusion. So honestly, I can definitely say that Defo is definitely like a piece of Ganon's nightmare, because when Link and Defo first encounter, they everything that Link faces off in that fight is just stuff that Link is afraid of, like the Moldorm, Aghanim, Ganon himself, those are all the things that Link, that the hero of legend was scared of, back in his journey in Hyrule. So honestly, I think Defo definitely could be like a piece of Ganon's darkness, just created in the form of a parasitic life form Dream Eater, like a parasitic creature.
Yep, I think you're right on the money with that one.
Exactly. I mean, and honestly, like I said, like I was saying earlier, this also applies with I'm bringing him up again with Bellum, from Phantom Hourglass, who also was a parasitic creature who was whose darkness was sucking off the life force of the world of the Ocean King. Now we don't know we can't say for sure that Ganon created Bellum, but that's another mystery for another time. Yeah. But as far as Defo goes, the main true nightmare, it's definitely is a piece of darkness that Ganon created. Because when you take the name Defo, it's kind of like you're saying death. Because all this enemies wanted to do was to kill Link. So this was a piece of nightmare from Ganon's darkness that was more like a representation of death.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's gotta be some sort of post-death kind of spawn of Ganon or something.
Yeah, you know what? Let me actually pull up a picture for you guys to show you guys what Defo looks like. Let me find him. I want to show you a picture of what he looks like. Okay. So let me go ahead and open this up. Okay. Alright, so right here, y'all. So this is Defil right here. This is the nightmare. This is the final boss of Link's Awakening. And honestly, you can definitely tell, like if you were to like take like a close analysis about it, you can definitely see like how there's like a strong resemblance to Darkness. Obviously, duh. But, you know, it can definitely probably might have a fracture of Ganon's Darkness right after he was killed. You know? Because I'm trying to find more... Oh, see right here? See? So that is Defil taking on the illusion, the form of Ganon that Link is definitely afraid of. So there's Ganon. There's Ganon right there. What's another picture? I think that's... No. Wait, no. Okay, so this one right here. So this is Aghanim. This was Ganon's Ganon's alter ego from Link to the Past. That is definitely is without a doubt Aghanim. Now I don't know. I don't see the other ones like with the Blob and like the Moldorm, but we can definitely know that that is without a doubt that is Aghanim and that is Ganon. So we know that the hero of legend was afraid of him. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it definitely is a pretty interesting theory to think about. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Sora says in the chat, darkness is the heart's true essence, Kappa. Oh my god. So, honestly, to kind of like go a little bit further though. Now, knowing that we do have Echoes of Wisdom definitely coming out real soon. So Kai, I would like to know, do you think that maybe one day, as like the Windfish said, like someday, thou shall recall the dream world? Because the thing is, the hero of legend remembers everything that happened. Even though he sees the Windfish, he sees Marin taking on the form of the seagull and flying away into the distance. So, do you think that possibly that one day Link will be able to come back?
That's kind of tough. That's kind of a tough question to answer. I like the idea of him going back, but how he would go back that's the question, is how he would go back. So if he were to come back, that would have to be up to the Windfish, because again, you know, the Windfish was the one who created this entire island, like, because the thing is, the Koholint Island was like a massive island created in the like as an illusion, to where, you know, because the thing is, like, kind of like what is said in the Hyrule Encyclopedia, it all started with an egg. It started with an egg, and then it started with having all these landscapes and lands, and how even it said right here in the book that it was mostly like it definitely had like a little bit of a resemblance to Hyrule. So probably Koholint Island probably had like a little strong resemblance of Link's home. You know, because think about it. You know, he fights monsters, he fights nightmares, and all these places are like kind of familiar to back home. Like for example, Kai, remember the Turtle Rock dungeon from Link to the Past? I do.
Well, I'm sure you remember, but the final dungeon in Link's Awakening is Turtle Rock.
I do remember that. So
it could definitely be a sign, like how, like, you know, the Windfish definitely knew about the hero of Legend's journey, so he created this entire island that kind of resembled a little bit of back home. At least that's where I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I see Jenny's here. Welcome on in, Jenny. For any of my mods in the Twitch chat, can we get a shout out for Retro Jenny, please? Please definitely go check her out. She streams a lot of retro content. She is absolutely incredible. Thank you, mods, for doing that. Yeah, please definitely go check out her stuff. Definitely do that. But, and honestly, Kai, I think we've covered about everything, but there is one question I definitely would like to ask you.
What's that?
How much references to Link's Awakening do you think we're going to see in Echoes of Wisdom? Based on everything that we talked about, the connections that it definitely is going to have. Like, how much connections and reference to Link's Awakening do you think we're going to see in this upcoming game next month?
Well, we already have a big one with the art style, so there's a big one right there. But, yeah, but... like, part of me wants to say, yeah, we'll see a lot of them, because... But also, I think realistically, like, if they are in fact going to be using the same map as Link to the Past, we'll probably see a lot more references to Link to the Past. If not, it's because, yeah, yeah. I think realistically, we're going to see more references to Link to the Past. But I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to see. They could go in all kinds of different directions with this game.
Yeah, we'll just definitely have to see ourselves. But I honestly do feel like that. You know, there is definitely going to be a lot of connections to Link to the Past. Honestly, this is the same map that Zelda is exploring. A lot of connections to Link's Awakening. Like I said, we're probably going to see like the events of the start of Echoes of Wisdom is going to take place as soon as Link comes home from Koholint Island and after all that hero training that he did. So he's probably going to come home from all of that, and then he gets sucked up into this darkness because of like the trident that was left behind in that battlefield. So there definitely will be a lot to it, though. But that will be for another time, though. You know?
Yep. All in good time.
But anyway, I can say we pretty much covered everything, did we, Kai?
I think so.
Well, I'm going to say, well, first off, Kai, I definitely want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me and talking about Link's Awakening.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Of course, it's been fun. Which, by the way, guys, if y'all are watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to do the following by liking, sharing, subscribing, all that jazz, as it really helps me out. So, next time on the Zelda Podcast Kokiri Chronicles, I will be talking to the next episode for episode 8 in September. We're going to be talking about the Princess Zelda's role in Echoes of Wisdom. So it's going to be all about her. Like, what can we probably expect from Zelda's role based on what we've seen from the trailer and way before the game comes out. So that will be our next episode coming up real soon next month. Guys, that's going to be it for the Zelda Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see all of you at the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Doodles.